Hey everybody, my piano student in Africa, Felix, and I were discussing great classic gospel hymns this morning. And one of the greats is Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. And the music, of course, was written by one of the greatest composers that ever lived, Beethoven. And the lyrics were written by a Presbyterian minister. I can't recall his name at the moment. You can Google it, in I think 1907. Anyway, he was so inspired by his surroundings and by the music that Beethoven wrote that he came up with the words to Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. So I got to really thinking about that song, and I've always been fascinated with what makes classical music so great. Why has it endured for so long? And classic hymns the same way. Why have classic hymns endured, and why are many of the modern praise and worship songs so, I don't know, so lame, so transient, so bleh? I don't know the answers, but I thought a good place to start would be with Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. So I'm going to play it again and analyze it a little more closely from several angles and see what I can discover. I'm not going to play this one fast at first. I'm just going to play it slow throughout and try to do some analysis. So it's in the key of G, and the way I'm going to do my analysis is with chord analysis. So the first phrase, in fact, let me get out the hymn book so we can follow along and do some further, deeper analysis. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee. 53. Okay, so it's in the key of G. It's 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's not the interesting part to me. The interesting part is the chord progressions. Okay, there are 4 phrases. Each one has 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. So there's 16 measures in total. And the first, the second, and the fourth are very similar. And then the third one is different. I think that may be an important part of why it's such an interesting piece. But let's look deeper and see. So the first theme is started on the 1 chord and we went to the 5, 7 with the 7th 1 chord. So it's 1, 5, 1, and then back to 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 1 with the 5 bass, because we're about to go to the 5 chord again on the very end of the measure. Okay. Then we go on to the second measure, and it's almost the same for the first part. But then there's an interesting change on the 4th note of the first measure. Instead of the pure G, we go to the pure G and staying on the G. Instead of doing that, we're going to G7th and transitioning to the 4 chord. And we stay on the 4 chord throughout that second measure, and then go back to the 1 chord with the 5. So that, we need to analyze that some more, because in the very first measure, we're just going 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. And then second measure, it's 1, 5, and then 5, 7, 4 for a full measure. And then back to 1, 5, 1, okay? Now the chorus, well, not the chorus, the third measure, which is different from the rest. So 5 starts on the 5 chord, 5, 7. So we're just 1, 5, 1, 5, no sevenths. Now that is a B chord, pure B, E minor, which is the relative minor of G. So we're transitioning to the relative minor via the 5 chord, which is the B. And then that goes to the 2 chord of the major, which is A. And then we just repeat bar number 2 exactly. And I like to suspend that 7th right there. Okay, that is just the beginning of my analysis. I hope to diagram this in some way and try to gain an understanding of the architecture of the music on this song, because it's just a brilliant melody and brilliant harmony composed by a master, Beethoven. And I think there's a lot to learn in this song for what makes a song great, what makes a classical piece great, what makes a classic hymn great versus good or mediocre. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful.